thought I'd share something fun. It says here, it's posted on Facebook the other day. It says, this New Hampshire business won't serve Republicans. Well, I'm actually not a Republican. I'm unenrolled. I vote for whoever I want to vote for. How about that? Because both parties do, they say things and then do other things, you know. And we really need to start, I believe, we should start voting for the person. I'd love to get rid of parties and vote for the person. So this is what I stand for. This is what I truly stand for. And I'm not bought and paid for by anyone. And I'm not going to, you know, put forward some crazy agenda. So it's too bad. But maybe things will change. Okay. So anyway, this is what the store owner, his name is Billy Williams. There comes a time when every man needs to stand up. I guess this is what he wrote. There comes a time when every man needs to stand up. Well, that's good. For what's right and blaze a better path. Today, we do that. Today, we say no thank you to any Republican. If you affiliate with the Republican Party, you are not welcome into our store. We will not offer you service. If you come in anyway, I suppose you could sneak in, but we will probably know. In fact, we can point out a Republican just from the way you look in person or in a photo. Once I tried doing this, I think this guy smokes pot. Once I tried, let's say, a lot of pot and maybe the age of 10 or 9. Let's just say that. Let's say that. Faithfully every day. Okay. Once I tried doing this and realized I could, we put to a test and told 30 random people that we were guessing Republican or not. And all 30, I was correct. This is exactly how he wrote that. Somebody else must fix those computers. That's all I can say. You have an uptight, closed energy, negative aura to you, ... almost evil, and to be honest, usually evil. I didn't write this. You also lack a psychic gateway to technology. I can just imagine what that psychic gateway to technology is. Now let's see. Scroll down here. How can they tell which customers are Republican? Well, they just know. Store owner Billy Williams told NH1 on Tuesday. Williams said that the company stands by their statement, and good that they do. I don't own any Apple products. But he would not say who actually created the post. He said he has administrative rights to the company's Facebook page. The used Apple store, as I just think the logo should be like an apple that's like had some bites in it and like is like sitting there for a few days and getting all brown and little things crawling all over it. Refusing service is a form of a protest against what the Republican Party stands for, he said, which is very interesting. It's the party of abolition, and it's the party that kind of doesn't want crime. You know, we kind of like, I say I'm not enrolled. The Republican Party does not want crime. They don't want people getting killed. They don't want people hurt. They kind of want to keep, you know, those bad gangs out of the country and protect the immigrants who are not whites and not whites to be safe. I mean, seriously, and family units, because we don't want to propagate any more of these very disturbed people in society. Individually, we need to make our decisions on how we want to see the economic engine move forward, he said. If you don't like Republicans, don't serve them. Don't buy their products. Commenters on Facebook expressed their own form of protest, and some expressed confusion. Well, I'm not confused because I know exactly what's wrong with him. Okay. My friends, this is a commenter, my friends and I will be standing out in front of your store with a Trump sign this week. Gotta love the First Amendment and a president that's preserving the Constitution. Yes, the Constitution, very important. We are endowed by our Creator with rights that no man can take away, and we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't see anything wrong with that, and illegal search and seizure, that's a bad thing because you want your drugs and you do want somebody to just come into your house and look around and find your drugs, right? So that's good. That makes the Constitution good. Okay. All right. Making a negative blanket statement is hardly blazing a better path. As a registered Democrat, this is a lady named Carrie, I would not walk in your store if it was the last store on earth. Your aura is the negative one, and you are a blemish on our community and society. You are pathetic and clearly in need of counseling. You see, there are Democrats, there are liberals, they stand for this. There are Democrats who still believe in standing for, they think of the Kennedys and Martin Luther King. They say Martin Luther King was actually a Republican because the KKK was the party of the Democrats. So if you were black in the South, you definitely, anyway. But there was something, liberal meant freedom. And so there are Democrats that still believe in this idea of what they think the Democratic Party is. But the Democratic Party has certainly turned out to be something else. And they say the old line Democrats, there are a few Democrats out there that do become Democrats because they believed the party stood for a certain thing. But we are seeing more and more, as like this independent mayor of Oakland who told the illegal immigrant drug dealers that ICE was going to come in and arrest them because she wanted to keep the drugs flowing and the people dying. But it's the drug companies that are bad. So, we were seeing this pervasive, sanctuary cities where people who are killing people, I found this gun. First he said he's shooting people, and he found the gun. And then he said he was shooting SEALs, which is a $150,000 fine and 5 years in jail, which is, then it went off by accident, dropped on the ground and went off by accident. I mean, we're seeing, they told, that the jury was rigged. They said, will you be comfortable coming to a decision that would be against the president? And they picked only those people. So the whole thing was a statement against Trump. But you see, that girl, so he's for the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is for this kind of stuff. It's happening all over the country. And the girl, as she was dying, said, this part isn't fun. She said, Daddy, help me. And when I heard that, and I had this idiot boyfriend who was very abusive, and I was very scared of him. He was one of these communist revolutionary Antifa kind of people. And he got pissed off right away. He got so angry that people were upset that an illegal alien had killed this girl. Because obviously not all illegal aliens, but that isn't what he said. He just got all angry and started defending this crime. And every illegal alien is good, even the ones that commit crimes that are clearly There are many, and I hear them. I think what it is we find when these crimes happen, if you listen to local news, you'll hear it. It's not being reported on mainstream media. And I happen to listen to an investigative reporter. He screenplays were made by some of his stuff, and he was the guy who found out, investigated Whitey Bulger. And Whitey Bulger actually sent his Goombas out to kill him, except he sent them to the wrong address, which is actually kind of funny. They went to the wrong address. But this guy, and he reports on these crimes. But, and he'll report in the crime, and then he'll play the La Cucaracha by a bugle in the background, or a little trumpet. And so it's kind of, he makes it kind of funny, but it's, I look up on the web. I do not just listen to what he says. I look it up, and I find that these things are happening. So when you say that, he says that the Republicans are on the side of evil, and this idea that everything is fascism, everything is Nazism, that the Republicans do, and they have no idea what Nazism is. One, they took away all the guns, just like the communists did. You disarm the public, so only the state has the guns. So that would mean only the police had the guns. And that would be something that Black Lives Matter would not like, if only the police had the guns, because the police apparently are the ones that are shooting black people, but they're also shooting white people 2.5 times more. But that's because there's more white people in the country. That's true. But do you really want the police to have all the guns and to take the guns away from? They're going to be marching in this march, because of the Parkland shooting. They're going to be marching with the teenagers, against guns, and Black Lives Matter. What they say? They said, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. And so they would not, if they don't like the cops, what's going to happen is only the cops, like the Nazis, would have the guns. So it's the opposite. You see, the Republicans want us legal gun owners, people who are responsible gun owners. The problem is that people like this, and it's an awful lot of them, don't know history, know nothing about World War II, know nothing about eugenics, which actually started in Vermont, but to get a super race. Fidel Castro was a nationalist. Che Guevara was a nationalist. Che Guevara, who killed off all the homosexuals, by the way. So take that T-shirt off. He was a murderer. I mean, he just murdered you go against him, you were shot. Firing squads galore. And he murdered all the homosexuals. He hated them. So take that T-shirt off. You don't look cool. So people don't know anything about Fidel Castro. They do not know that in Cuba, there's a line right down the middle. And they love, remember Kaepernick had his little socks, Fidel Castro socks. This is how dumb, this is really how ignorant the left is. That they've got this upside down. They think that the Republicans, the racist, the party of abolition, the Democrats, the party of slavery. In Cuba, it is the most racially divided country in the world. Basically, the blacks and the whites are separated. And there's basically the prisons, they're filled with black people. And there's the women in white that came out and protested in the streets when Obama came to visit, and they were all dressed nice and they were licking ice cream cones, and they went to the baseball game with Dwayne Castro, Fidel's brother. Well, they were protesting because they wanted Obama to help them, but they were beat up in the street. You see, there's political prisoners, people who, let's say the people who don't believe. Basically, it's the conservatives, because conservatives flee Cuba and they swim to Florida to try to get freedom. And they come here and they're conservative because they know the left, that's what the left is, and they will not vote, at least the old line. I think some of them are voting Democrat now. But this is what's happening in Cuba, and people don't realize this. And these women who try to bring attention to this because their husbands and children are in prison, just because of their political beliefs, they're thrown in prison and tortured. And these Democrats have no idea, and they think this is your Fidel. You know, Obama loved Fidel. The left, Trudeau loves Fidel. You know, crazy Trudeau. They have no idea. They have no idea what the Nazis did. Trump wants you to keep your guns. Hitler took the guns. You know, he doesn't believe in eugenics. He doesn't believe in eugenics. This is a whole nother video. So, okay, one more comment here. What is a psychic gateway to technology? Is this a Harry Potter reference? I say it's drugs. I say that's what it is. Okay, Williams believes Republicans are representing less and less good things. Instead of fewer and fewer, less and less good things. This guy, I don't know if he's read a book, or views that oppose his absolute goodness. So this guy is a narcissist. It's like this guy I dated. This guy was a narcissist. He used to wear fatigues, Thomas Sankara on his thing there. And it's really kind of funny. This might make you laugh. He was white. And he loved taking from me because I was white and I deserved to be taken from. But he was white, with blue eyes, and he belonged to a all-white reggae band. Can you imagine how good that music was? So, you know, but a black man told him that, oh yeah, you're a brother. So he says he actually thinks he's black because black men called him a brother, which is, that black man did not know him very well. So he opposes his absolute goodness or stand as one mentality, which is what everybody's trying to do. We're trying to stand together as one nation. So I don't know what the heck he's talking. Humankind needs to stand together. He said that the store's discrimination against Republicans does not violate any law and that the identification is not considered a protected class. That's right. What about Ben Carson? He's black. He's 100% black, and he's Republican. So I guess you wouldn't serve him, but he is a protected class, right? And there's a lot of Hispanics. 30% of Hispanics are against illegal immigration. How about that? And identify as Republican. So you would not serve them either. There's a lot of people that you're not going to serve who actually are protected classes, which is really funny. So this man is a narcissist. This guy is suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. And okay, the general person, see, this is what Williams says, okay. Okay, the used Apple store owner said some people won't understand that while society follows laws, it does not mean that the laws are good or align with absolute goodness mentality. Laws are good or align with the absolute goodness mentality. What does Williams think of those that don't understand his protest? The general person, because this man is very, very advanced spiritually. The general person isn't spiritually far enough along to really understand. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh my God. I've got a whole library here of every religion on the planet. And I got crystals and what. I even have a mini Ark of the Covenant, by the way. That's why nobody can find it, because it's actually really small. The dimensions where the store is really small. I've got a little mini Ark of the Covenant. So the general person isn't spiritually far enough along to really understand, William said. Oh my God. But exposure is the start of the path down spirituality. So to expose people is the start of the path down to spirituality. How about that? I'd like to have a conversation with him about the Bhagavad Gita or the Mahabharata or Upanishads or the Quran. In fact, the translation of Pakistani Quran, Saudi Arabian Quran. I've got Qurans from all different countries, by the way. I'd like to the Torah. What else? Oh, and shamanism. I've got books that are actually books right out of the libraries of they're dissertations on shamanism. I'd like to talk to him. I swear to God, I'd love to talk to this guy. I bet he, when he takes his drugs or smokes or whatever he does, he really thinks he's having a ayahuasca experience or something like that. But anyway, I thought that would be a little, fun, because the left they're hypocrites, they're ignorant, and it would be a whole show on Nazism and how different Hitler. They've got Trump. I hear you call him Hitler so many times. Oh my good Lord, how different Trump is from Hitler. He is so way different. In fact, he's a meat eater, and Hitler was a vegetarian. So there's the first step on the ladder, how different they actually are. So anyway, yeah, another day we'll talk about the Nazis and World War II and how none of them know about communism or World War II, or they don't know about history at all, except for what their little communist revolutionary, my ex used to go to those meetings, and I used to hear all the interesting stuff. Look who's got the Ark of the Covenant. I told you I had the Ark of the Covenant. I wasn't joking. So anyway, I just wanted to add something, other than that I clearly am far more spiritual than this guy who owns the used Apple store in New Hampshire. Clearly. I mean, it's quite obvious. Anyway, see, that's why nobody could find it, is because it's really, really small. See? I've got it. Anyway, I'm going to ask you to please join me on Bitchute. I haven't been able to upload onto Bitchute regularly because it can take up to 8 hours to upload, and my computer broke down trying to upload to Bitchute. So I'm going to, and for some reason my cell phone, it keeps dropping out, and I was told by somebody who works there that they don't have enough cell towers and they need some extra cash, which one day I would hope to give them. I'm just really kind of poor now. Anyway, but I'm gonna try to do that because certain platforms want you to talk about certain things, and on Bitchute I might be more expressive about all sorts of things, and no pornography. I might swear if I'm impassioned. I might. Sometimes I do if I'm impassioned. But I try not to. Try to keep it a nice PG rating on my videos. Okay, so join me there. Or check me out there. So I'll be there and in the future. Anyway, thank you for watching this, and please comment below and tell me what you think. And how about that? See. Goodbye.